Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with name brand wigs. This is a brand new style by Rene of Paris called Fenix. This is in the color Icy Oak SR. SR stands for soft root. So this is very softly rooted, and Icy Oak is really pretty. If you want to know more about Fenix, all the features, and this color inside and outside, then stick around. Thank you so much, Name Brand Wigs, for sharing Fenix with me so that I could share it with all my wig sisters. I'm so grateful for the partnership and the ability to show a lot of different wigs. If you have not checked out Name Brand Wigs, I highly encourage you to go to their website. It is namebrandwigs.com. There is a link in the description so that you can see this piece. And if you are able to get it for 30% off, which if you use the code Denise30, you can get this for under $150 for a high quality synthetic wig. That's pretty good. All right, everybody, let's take a look at this one from all sides. All right, so this one has some incredibly sassy curls. Look at these curls, you guys. It's so sassy, and it has a full fringe. Bangs apparently are in right now. All of the new styles that Rene of Paris just released, and I have them all to show you, have bangs. So if you are a bang girl, you are going to be so happy this season that bangs are in, and a lot of these wig manufacturers are heeding the call. If not, well, I think there are a few things you can do with this one. It doesn't have to have a full bang. Now this piece is a basic cap. That is what keeps the price point down a bit. A basic cap, otherwise known as a machine-made cap. And so you're not going to pull the bangs up because there is no lace front there. But they do actually sweep to the side pretty well. So if you want to wear it with a full fringe, you can play around with it. I would say that for most people, this might need to be trimmed because the fringe is 3.9 inches. It's probably going to be too long for most people. It's really easy to trim though, and I do have a video showing you how to trim up the bangs on a wig, so I will link that in the description. But for the rest of you, or us, because I don't typically wear bangs either, you know, if you want to play with this and get the bangs swept to the side, so it's more of a side fringe, I really think that you can. Now, along with a basic cap wig comes permatease. So let's talk right away about the volume and permatease on this one. So I would consider this a moderate density piece. It is not light density, and so it definitely feels like a good amount of hair, especially for the length, especially for this curl pattern. This does have permatease all throughout. I think the entire cap, all back here, all up here, a little bit even at the sides. So this one really does have a coating of permatease on the whole piece. It is not the heaviest, pillowiest permatease I've ever felt. It's definitely a nice amount between the volume of the hair, the layers, the curls, and the length. It definitely has volume, but it's not super pillowy up here. It just doesn't, it feels really appropriate for the style that they're going for. But if you get overwhelmed by hair, if you have been losing your hair for a long time and you just can't do fullness, this one is pretty full. And again, between the density and the permatease and the curls, I mean, it feels super fancy. It feels like you spent quite a bit of time on your hair, you know, blow drying it upside down, round brushing some volume in it, maybe putting some hot rollers in it for these big voluminous curls. It's fancy hair. It's date night hair. It's wedding hair for sure. When you have a basic cap wig and permatease, sometimes there is a concern about visible permatease. Where you typically see visible permatease is right on the top wherever you part the piece. This one does have a little bit of visible permatease right there. I don't think it's extreme. I definitely think if you play with it, if you get some lift, what you want to do when you get a basic cap wig out of the box that has some permatease, you definitely, where's my wide tooth comb? It's right here. I'm back. You definitely need to wake that permatease up. Some ways that you do that: shake it upside down vigorously. Take your wide tooth comb and sort of pick at the cap to lift those fibers up above the permatease. All of that will help, and rooted colors also help quite a bit with a basic cap wig that has the risk of visible permatease. So please keep that in mind if you are partial to basic caps, or you're looking at a piece that you love. If you do get it and it's got that visible permatease, that is how you tackle it. So you shake it, you kind of get your fingers in there and lift up the fibers. You can take your wide tooth comb and sort of pick at the fibers to get them lifted up. All of those things will help with visible permatease. If you don't wear rooted colors, sometimes permatease can be more visible if it's a light color, especially if it's a dark color that sort of acts like rooting. But if it's a gray, if it's a blonde with no rooting, all of that can make visible permatease a little bit more of a challenge. I don't know what the other colors will look like in this one. All I have is this one. There was just a tiny bit of visible permatease kind of up here, which means it's kind of back on your head where most people are not looking. Let's take a look at this cap. Basic cap, no cap features. So all of that is just it's a bit of a rough material. Ear tabs with bendable stays, and they've actually got some hair sewn in on those ear tabs, which helps with coverage. There is not an extended nape on this one, and we've got pull adjusters, and then that's all open wefting. Let's quick talk about this nape. The nape is very, very short at 1.5 inches, but the crown is quite long, and that covers that short nape. So I'm going to put it back on for you guys, and then let's just take a look at that so that you can see. Now, because of the style and the volume, now you saw I was shaking it upside down, I was combing it. That's why suddenly it looks like this. That will happen, and that's okay. You're waking up the fibers, you're handling the permatease, so just put it back on and start playing with it. We just want to sort of smooth out those fibers a little bit. It'll fall back into place, just like that. So let's take a look at that nape. So that's a very, very short nape, but this is a little bit longer. I do think it mitigates that short nape a bit, although it has a lot of curl, so it does bring that longer crown up. So if you have a long hairline in the back and you struggle with short wigs and your hair showing, this does have a pretty short nape. It's a little deceptive because the rest of it doesn't look that short. What I want you to do is I want you to maybe think about using a wig grip to help tuck all of that hair up into the wig grip. That's how I hide my bio hair. It's at a really awkward length to help hide it on the sides and at the nape. I have a video showing you all about that, and I will link it in the description. All right, let's talk about fit. Rene of Paris is known as being a brand that runs pretty true to average. Sometimes though, their wigs can feel a little bit smaller than average. This one to me in the circumference is feeling really true to average. 22-inch circumference is what I have. I am not cinching this one in at all. I really don't have room to cinch it in. It's quite snug on me. It fits me, but it's quite snug on me. As for stretch, it actually has pretty good stretch. So if you are bigger than 22 inches and you are used to your wigs feeling a little snug, maybe you like that. It gives you a sense of security. You know, 22 1/4, I think you can wear this, but it will be snug on you. It does have stretch though. It also, I do get a little bit of extra cap up here, and I have a very petite over the top of my head. That's why I say I think this is running pretty true to average, but not bigger than average at all. I'm also getting really good coverage on the sides. These ear tabs fall exactly where I like them to fall to give me the best coverage, yet still be tuckable. So I definitely think this all around, I would say this is running very, very true to average. All right, let's talk about color. Icy Oak SR. Again, the SR means soft root. So while this is rooted, it is very soft. It barely looks rooted. So if you love rooted colors, I almost don't consider this one rooted. It's such a short, soft root. This color is really something else. It's a warm, medium brown base. I'll let you take a look at it while I describe it, with golden, blonde, and white gold highlights. Almost makes me think of platinum highlights. Look at some of those right there. They're very bright. White gold, platinum, aren't they the same? And so you've got, it's almost has a salt, you know, like when somebody has gray hair and it's salt and pepper, this almost has a salt and caramel effect. Because not only do you have some of these chunky highlights, but they've really dispersed some of those, sort of diffused it in all throughout. Can you kind of see it? Sort of a salt effect. And then there's that root. It's really pretty, and it's a really interesting blend of warmth and ash. It's a really kind of, they call it a warm medium brown. It's really kind of a caramely brown. Some kind of golden in with that. It's really unique. If you love vibrant colors, if you really like when there's a huge contrast, big pops of color, this is a fun one. Icy Oak SR. Let me throw it on for you one more time, and then we will get outside so you can see this color outside. Kind of the bottom line with this one, I think it's a super fun piece. It feels like really fancy hair, but it's not for the faint of heart. It is full. There's a lot of volume on this one. I think you can tamp down the volume a little bit with some accessories. I show this all the time in my videos, especially like videos where I think you might need to work with a style to make it comfortable for you. And headbands is a great, great accessory to have. You play with it, you do some tucking, and it really helps if you're struggling with a wig. Headbands, claw clips, bobby pins, all of those things can be so helpful. So on this one especially, because of these fun curls, I think if you put a headband on and then play with it, it's such a cute look. I will link my Amazon store where I have a bunch of these kind of headbands linked. They're my favorites. I own tons of them and I wear them all the time. I think they're perfect for wigs. All right, everybody, let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Thank you once again, Name Brand Wigs, for sending me Phoenix so I could show all my wig sisters. Let me know if any of you have any questions. I'll talk to you in my next video. All right, friends, once again, I'm having to do this on a snowy day. This has been an incredible March. So much snow, February and March. It doesn't seem like I can ever do a video without it snowing or drizzling. It's actually so warm that there's melting going on, but it's also snowing. Out here you can really see those highlights pop, but also kind of how neutral this color really is. Shake off some of that snow. And there's that root. All right. Thanks for watching.